यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ఓం ప్రపన్నపారిజాతాయ తోత్రవేత్రైకపాణయే జ్ఞానముద్రాయ కృష్ణాయ గీతామృతదుహే నమః. May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, wealth, health and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and your family members and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, verse number 23. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Yatra Kale Tvanavrittim Avrittim Chaiva Yoginaha Prayata Yanti Tam Kalam Bhakshyami Bharatarushabha. Bhagavan Krishna, from verse number 15 to 22, just explained about two kinds of destination, finite and infinite. The seeker who is introduced in this chapter called Upasaka, Saguna Upasaka, serious seeker. That seeker, he can do worship of Saguna Brahma Ishvara. In the beginning itself, from verse number 5 onwards, verse number 14, we saw what is Saguna Brahma Upasana. The Om can be Alambanam for those people. That is known as Pratika Alambanam, Pratima Alambanam. Symbolically, he said Om can be the Alambanam. Now we should have the difference between the seeker, means bhaktas who were introduced in the 7th chapter. There were 4 kinds of bhaktas: Artha, Artharthi, Jignasu, Jnani cha Bharatarushabha. These people, they are not Artha bhaktas and they are not Artharthi bhaktas, but they are not also Jignasu bhaktas. Jignasu means the people who wants to gain Ishvara himself through the knowledge. Therefore, the people who sought after knowledge called Jignasu Bhakta. But these people who make effort for Krama Mukti. Now you could see India has got 2 kinds of lifestyle. There are the Grahasthas, there are Sannyasis. Okay, only these 2 categories are very famous, and whole this Varnashrama Dharma, it talks about only these 2 categories. Though it gives 4 varieties, the Brahmacharya Griha is to prepare for Grihasthashrama, and Vanaprastha is to prepare to sannyasa, for sannyasa ashrama. Mainly there are 2 lifestyles, that's all, Grihastha and sannyasa. The life without renunciation, the life with renunciation. See, now here the one more varieties of people are called yogis, meditators. So they want to gain moksha through upasana. And even sannyasi can also be a upasakaha, but once he does renunciation, that renounced one will just think about moksha, liberation alone, that too through knowledge. But here they want to get moksha through karma alone. Karma means it's a refined, tuned karma which is known as upasana. Upasana is the subtlest karma. So it's a sukshmatama karma like. That which is very subtle, you need to be very careful. So their mind and buddhi is kept in such a way, with a trained way, so they won't deviate through by any nonsense of this worldly materialistic aspects. They are very serious meditators. And the serious meditators They travel very fast to one loka to another loka. They are able to reach up to Satya Loka and means Brahma Loka, because Satya Loka and Brahma Loka, there are so many divisions of that. Just we can understand Satya Loka is a Brahma Loka. So there are so many divisions in Upanishads. Even Bhagavata gives so many definitions. Even Devi Bhagavatam. So that is also written by Vyasa after returning 18 Puranas. There also there are so many definitions of these lokas. So whatever the lokas may be, but these people, they plan for so many lokas and finally they will also attain liberation. Being in the human body, they live like, they make this body is the place for the tapas. So they are not, see, automatically it comes from the birth. It's not that in between he got something and he started doing that. No, from the birth, if you would have noticed, you could judge. So like Ramana Maharshi, so from the birth itself he was like that. And I am aware about so many yogis who are from the birth, though they go to schools, colleges, but their lifestyle is something different. So like there are a group of people who are serious seekers to get Krama Mukti. Okay, in the beginning of this chapter, I alone introduced there are few varieties of Mukti called Videha Mukti, Krama Mukti, Jivan Mukti. So these three Muktis, so Jivan Mukti is the motto, the aim of Bhagavad Gita. But Krama Mukti, which is dealt in the 8th chapter, and this Videha Mukti, so this Videha Mukti is also a kind of moksha that is not Gita's target. So Videha Mukti, it comes its own, there is a lifestyle, a normal death can be converted into Videha Mukti, but with the help of Upasana alone. Now this Krama Mukti is the target of the 8th chapter. And this Krama Mukti attained by yogis, not by normal seekers. These seekers are very serious. We have to learn there is a lifestyle. Why there are so many yogis? And there are varieties, the Naga sadhus are there. So they are Digambaras. Some of them are Digambaras. And Aghoris are there. Aghoris, a real Aghori, they are not danger. Somehow it is projected like that. So Aghoris are there, Nagas are there. They look like terrifying appearance. No, it's not like that. I am acquainted with so many Aghoris in the past, but they were having a proper method of sadhana. And there are so many other people also there. They go because they are frustrated with their life. They want to live a life in their own way. They also go there into Kashi and Rishikesh, but they are not lasting for long. But real Aghoris, the real Nagas who are Digambaras, they don't wear anything. The real Digambaras, they also have the Mahavakya followers. It means Aham Brahmasmi and Prajnanam Brahma. These are all the traditions. But here we have to realize these varieties of people are really serious upasakas, and that too Saguna upasakas, not Nirguna upasakas. Saguna upasakas, that upasana method which we have seen already. And these upasakas, they can fix their destination. Like, there are NH roads, national highways. So many number of national highways we have. So one national highway, one NH road, so which begins from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. So he need not to ask anybody, he keep on traveling. He will reach. So destination is to reach Kashmir. So then he can start, the route is visible, that physical route. It passes through so many villages, cities, and big, huge cities. So like so many forest goes behind like that, these seekers, they have crossed so many janmas. Now they are born in this janma. They are in the form of human being, but they know how to use this body as the boat, as a flight. They fly soon. So like that, so infinite and finite. So both targets are fixed by this kind of people. Some of them to reach up to Satya Loka to come back. Some of them, even they want to reach, they don't want to come back. Therefore, two kinds of destinations and two kinds of methodologies were introduced by Bhagavan Krishna up towards number 22nd. Especially last three verses, 20 and 21, 22, these three verses, it talks about Ishvaraha and that Purushaha, that Purushaha who exists in everywhere, the reality of Atma, Brahman, was explained. So, which was taught in the second chapter alone. But here, that same entity is introduced in different way, like Avyakta means unmanifested. There are manifested matter and unmanifested matter. You should not get confused. Because science says world is mixed of both matter and consciousness. But this matter has got two levels, that manifested matter. Unmanifested matter is which is in the form of energy. When you take a matchbox, you rub the matchbox, the fire comes out. That is manifested fire, isn't it? If you foo that, that goes into unmanifested. Okay, that goes into unmanifest form. Though we are not able to understand it, we are not able to see that, but that fire exists in the form of energy. In the form of what energy? In the form of fire energy alone. Therefore, we have invented H2O. So this H2O, when you mix, so you get water. So the subtle existence also is known as Avyaktam. We can also, Avyakta. Vyaktam means that which is manifested. Manifested matter is five elemental aspects. Okay. There is unmanifested matter which also in the original five elemental form. We call it Mayaji. That is number one, Avyaktam. But here he says there is a number two, Avyaktam. There is one more unmanifested subject, entity, which is all pervasive. That is what Purushaha is. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna introduced, so your life is 120 years and there are celestial beings, their life is more than you, and Brahmaji's life is longer than any life of created world. Even you have that much longer life, you need to end in a day. It means what? So it doesn't matter how many billion, trillions of years you live, you have to end in a day. When the life is about to end, the same worry will come, same fear will come, same confusion will come, where to go, when to go, what to go. Therefore he says that, destination is confused. Confused means what? It will bring in the same place. When you travel after even thousands of years, it will bring in a same place. You should be aware. So just you go with the marga. So you just walk on the road, whatever the roads are available in India. Yeah, if anybody asks, where are you going? No, just I want to enjoy the road. It can be also the destination. I want to just enjoy Surgadi Lokas, Surga etc. Lokas, all the heavenly lives. I would like to enjoy. That destination is to come back. Then again I will make effort and I will go. Human being means a human body alone is the flight through which you can make effort. That is known as finite destination. That infinite destination. Yes, I would like to cross all the lokas, but I don't want to come back. So I have to get settled there itself with God is known as infinite goal. Here it is known as Krama Mukti, Kramena Mukti, gradually by loka, by loka, by loka, by traveling by lokas, and you get done. Now, physically, he wants to make us understand, therefore, he is grossifying the idea again from verse number 23. So, now he is grossifying. See what happens, a person achieves death. He travels, the travel continues. We cannot say that travel is ended. So, we have to understand that person have gone, the travel has taken place, journey has begun. So what kind of journey? Here it is introduced. Yatra kale tvam na vrittim avrittim chaiva yoginaha prayata janti tam kalam vakshyami bharatarshabha. That is what kala is. Now he says yatra kale means yasmin marge. There are two kinds of margas. Now two kinds of destination. Yatra kale to anavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginaha prayata yanti tam kalam vakshyami bharatarshabha. Here kala means, usually in Sanskrit kala means time, but here it means marga and the destination, both. In the first line, yatra kale yasmin kale, in which path, that is the meaning of marga, means path. In the second line there is tam kalam. Tam kalam means again that marga I will tell you, but what kind of marga? So there are two kinds of paths. So if you go through one, that marga will take you to the destination, it will bring back. The marga which is endowed with return ticket, and another marga which has got only one-way ticket, no return ticket. So there are two kinds of margas. So prayata, these travelers are divided into two categories: the traveler which travel with return ticket, the travelers which travel without return tickets. That's what introduced. So I am going to narrate those two kinds of traveler who travel through two kinds of marga. So marga one which brings back, the marga one which takes away. That's all the meaning of these words. We'll go to next words. Agnir jyotiraha shuklaha shanmasa uttarayanam tatra prayata gacchanti brahma vido janaha. Krishna brings the positive, means the highest marga through which one goes and never comes back. Okay, he says Agnihi, Jyotihi, Ahaha, Shuklaha, Shanmasa. These five kinds of sources. So some of the text they say that Agnihi, Jyotihi, Ahaha, Jyotihi is one. But Bhashikara says there are two kinds of Abhimani Devatas. Usually you should remember the death of Bhishmacharya. So before understanding these words, we have to recollect Bhishmacharya, who fought a terrific way, but who was waiting also a long time for death. He was not leaving the body because he had the boon Icha Mrityu. Therefore, his body was penetrated with lots of arrows. Therefore, he could make a bed in arrow. It's a arrow's bed. Okay, that's what we can say. But he was waiting with all the pain. He was enduring all the pain, waiting for Uttarayana Punya Kala. This Uttarayana Punya Kala is the proper time to leave this. It's a physical indication, What is the difference between Dakshinayana and Uttarayana? These two margas which are introduced here. So one is introduced, it's known as Shukla Margaha. So this Shukla Margaha, the name is said in the verse number 26. Not here, but Whatever is introduced in the verse number 24 is known as Shukla Marga. Shukla Marga means what? Uttarayanam. The direction, the north direction always symbolizes the knowledge. Therefore, Uttarayanam means it's a Shukla Pakshaha. The knowledge means the path with light. Dakshinayana means Dakshina is the opposite side. You might have seen Dakshina Murti always is sitting towards Dakshina Disha. Dakshina Abhimukha Murti Esya, whose form is established facing south. Now, Dakshina means what? Always Dakshina means it denotes darkness. Darkness means what? Ignorance. Ignorance is endowed with what? Suffering and death and birth. So all these things are symbolizes the south side. Okay. So now I am sitting north, but my behind is south. So in the south side, when Dakshinamurti, he has the perception, he has his vision on the south, because Dakshinamurti, who is Jnana Swarupi, who is nothing but in the form of knowledge. So when knowledge means a light is penetrating the darkness is pierced. That is the indication of Dakshinamurti. In the same way, Dakshina Marga means Dakshina Ayanam. Ayanam means, again, it is the meaning of Marga, path. Dakshina Marga means the Marga by which, through which a traveler gets back. Again, he gets back into ignorance. So, because the death is an ignorance, the Ajnana Karyam alone. If you are veiled by ignorance, then alone you can achieve death. You will enjoy the death, means you can experience the death. Once you are enlightened, informed, you won't die, because death cannot be put anywhere, because body doesn't have death. You don't have the death. Body means Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira. None of them have death. Because Sthula Sharira, you take the liver of a person and fixed, because a person who is about to die, so his liver is being transplanted to another person, it will have the longevity up to his body. So like a kidneys transplantation, even a hair transplantation, every these things, it symbolizes this body doesn't have death, the timeless body and timeless soul. And where is the death? Death is only a phenomenon which is projected by the jiva. Therefore, there is no death. There is not at all death. That's what is a complete knowledge about. But here, so 1 year is being divided into 2 ways. So every month is being divided into 2 ways. Every day also divided into 2 ways. So daytime, night time. Shukla Pakshaha, Krishna Pakshaha. Uttarayanam, Dakshinayanam. So both symbolizes, one is samsara, another is moksha. So in that way, so when a soul, it sets a departure, it says this Agni Abhimani Devata, it takes care of that soul and it handovers the soul to this Jyotihi, Archis Devata and Ahaha Devata. The Devata means a celestial being. The Devatas of the daytime has got its own Abhimani Devata. We can say the ruler of the daytime, which is in the form of light. So they carry this person, they take the responsibility of this soul to travel. So if a person leaves body in the night, but he is a serious upasaka, so the soul has to set the departure in the daytime, but mistakenly it has been taken in the night time. Night time means you have to take the meaning daily night time, means an individual day of night time. and the Krishna Paksha, because then day becomes night. Could you understand what I say? A day has got daytime and night time. A month has got, so 15 night time, 15 daytime. There, day becomes night. And so the year, when it is divided into Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, so all this Krishna Paksha, Shukla Paksha, everything comes under Dakshinayana, means what? Under Ajnana Avastha. Then Uttarayana becomes what? The enlightenment. So this is an indication. But suppose if a person, so who is serious sadhaka, who has got lots of punya, who is about to get krama mukti, but he leaves his body prarabdhavashat during Dakshinayana, then this Agni Devata will carry him. It will own his soul and it will hand over to Uttarayana Devata. That's what sequence here said. So tat prayata gachanti brahma vido janaha. He reaches Brahma Lokam. So directly he reaches Brahma Loka. Then from there he will be informed Tattvamasi. He will get Aham Brahmasmi. Then he will become one with this supreme consciousness. That's what the meaning of the verse number 24. This is known as Shukla Marga. So it's Prayana Kale Manasa Chalayana, the same concept we have to get connect here. When Bhagavan said a person at the time of death, if he remembers me, he reaches me. But at the time of death, when a yogi achieves death, it's considered as a dwaram of Shukla Marga. Once he leaves the body, so he never comes back. I mean, he never entered into any other sharira. So his travel is one-way journey. He will reach the destination. The next verse, Dhomo ratristatha krishnaha shanmasa dakshināyanam tatra chandramasam jyotihi yogi prapya nivartate. This is known as Dakshina Marga, means Krishna Marga. We will continue this in the next episode tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.